So the project what we're going to create today is, I will show you the demo now. Oh, it's taking too much time to open. And okay, so this is the project we're going to create. For example, if I type something and if I add something here, now it's not going to work. This data, this small data is going to add in the task list. And also when I click this one, it should delete from here and we can also clear the task. Okay, in this now here, I'm not going to show the update things and all. Once we get familiar with this, we can get into the update things. Of, for example, if you want to update this, you can click, it should, again, it should fill with the list and you can update the thing, but I'm not going to show this now. Afterwards, we'll do that. Okay, first I'm going to just concentrate on how this two things are going to work. So creation, read and delete. Okay, not the update one for this project. Hereafter, we'll create this in the second project. We'll create the update everything. Okay. So in this project, I'm using material CSS. So this one. Okay, now this is not a bootstrap. Instead of bootstrap, I'm using this framework. So I will show you everything, how much I can able to teach you. Okay, so this one, this is the latest version I'm using. So material is a modern responsive front end framework based on material design. So the always the like, if you use the Google product, they mostly use the material design only. They follow only the material design. So this is the material design. Basically, what I'm going to do. So just getting started. I click the getting started. So learn how to easily start using Materialize in your website. So we can download in local machine, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use this CDN in our project. Okay, for this style and for the JavaScript. So we don't need the JavaScript, but I'm only going to use the style only. Okay, for the dependency, I'm going to add this JavaScript. So that's it. Okay, so it's just a getting started. So in the CSS, you see we have a color. So the color we should give like this. Okay, the color takes here you see blue text darken to. Okay, here they have all lot of colors here, so you can use the class here. I will show you that how I did that. So these are the color what they in their in like what I say, they are available. These color are only available in this material design. Okay, so in the grid what we have, so this is the grid basically. So the grid has a 12 column. This is very important in every CSS framework. So the grid, take a look at the section to quickly understand how the grid works. So 12 column grid, our standard grid has 12 column. No matter the size of the browser, each of this column will have an equal width. For example, here I every time I'll told you that, so the window is going to have only 12 column grid, right? So it takes a 1 2 3 4 5 6. You see how they did s1 s2 s1 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 like this for 12 times. So it's showing 12 column grid here. Okay, if they want to make this single row, you should want to make 12 column. So if you want make a double row, so you should sorry, the 2 column, you should want to give 6 6. Okay, so this is how these things are working. So this is very simple only. If you go and read this documentation itself, you can able to understand this. It is very common thing like a bootstrap. Okay, so if you give this, so if you copy this code snippet and if you paste it in your like in HTML, it should work. Okay, I'm just going to get this CDN from here. This is the CDN I'm going to add in my index.html. So I'll put this here. Name is task list. Okay, so here I'll paste the CDN. So the CSS I paste here. So I'll copy this and I paste the JavaScript. I should want to paste inside the body. Okay, so the next step what we're doing, so everything is done here. That's all. And I'm using the font awesome also for the icon, and also get the CDN. So the font awesome CDN. So that's all. Okay, we are not using any other thing. So and also the jQuery, we should want to add the jQuery, but we don't need that. But this is the dependency. Okay, we are not going to use this, but if you want to work with this framework, you should want to this two links to that's it. So local storage, this is good. So now what I'm going to do, first step, I'm going to create a container. So I'm coming back this, now this class is going coming from this material design only, not from our own. Okay. So I'll create this here dot container. This container takes a hello. Okay. Now I'll come and I will open this in a live server now. So if I come back, you see the hello is starting from here. Okay. If I take this out, the link from here, it should start from here. You see, because it's now the container class is coming from our material design. Remember that you go through the documentation. Okay. Now the second step is row. Okay. I'm just creating some row here. Dot row. This row takes hello. After that, what I do, I'll just copy this. So inside, I'll put call S6. I'll put two column here. Okay, the two, it takes a hey and hey. So if I come back here, you see the hey and the hello is written. I think wait. I put row. Everything's fine. So wait, I'll check the documentation. So here in the CSS grid, we should want to get that yes one, right? Everything's perfect. It's not returning call. I think.
So you have written hello within the row, so it will take 12 columns directly. Hello.
No, that's not a problem basically. So if we have a 12 column here, what's coming? Yeah, now it's coming. Okay, because of the hello only that problem came. Because after row, you should want to call this div. Okay, but what I did, I just called this text. So this is not going to work. Whatever you're calling this, the row is basically flex. Okay, the next child should be a direct children of this flex. So now this time I have this hello after this row. So that's the problem. This both not working properly. Okay, I'll just take this out. Now it should work like a hey. Okay, you can split the column however you want, but I'm not going to explain that too deep. So I'll just copy and paste everything from there because you can understand it easily. Okay, this is not a big things and all. So inside I have a div, takes a main div, the 12 column grid. Okay, here I'll put a call S12. S12 is a whole div. Okay, so after the, it takes the whole space. Okay, inside we have the main card and the card content, card title. These every class are coming from in a material CSS. So go and check it out. Okay, later on. So here I have some row. The row takes the div of form, and then the div contains the 12 column, and the input we have the label to add a new task, and the input the form section close here. So I'll put the ID main tag here. Okay, I'll close this one. So coming back, so this is the card. I'll copy this card content, paste inside the main. So the main takes the card content, card title. Inside I have created one row. The row takes a form. Then after that, I think, yeah, everything is fine. No, wait 1 minute. So the row takes the form.
Sir, is it necessary to mention S12? Because if you don't mention, it is going to already take the
Which one?
whole S12 column S12.
Yeah, you should want to mention that because it should takes a whole space, right? You should want to mention that. Okay.
But by default also it takes the whole space.
No, it should have some padding and all. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what you should want to mention that. So if I save this
in Bootstrap also?
Yeah, in Bootstrap also the padding should apply for the column. Okay, the call MD6, call SM6. Okay, now it is working properly. Everything is fine. So I'll take this. This is the input. This input has what div is it? So I'll put this inside here. Okay, inside the form. Then this should come. This what. Okay, so it's perfect now. So done. Next step, we should want, okay, I should want to create here, right? So this one should come some, inside form. Okay, everything is fine. So we have one input, that input consent, that submit form here. So it should returning here. Okay, so everything is fine now. Now the second step, what I want to do, I want to copy the card action. The card action is basically takes a h5. I don't need this class and all, so I'll take this class. And the UL takes a collection. These are all coming from material UI design only, and collection item. So here we have some dummy text. Okay, for now we are having some dummy text. Afterwards we will take all this out. Okay, so now I'll just copy this card action and I will paste inside after the card content. Everything is fine now. So we can see this cool UI styling. Okay, I'll close this one. We don't need this. Okay, so we'll start the coding now. So the step I'm just going to show you is, first step is we should want to pick the element from document, okay, to use in our application. For example, so here I need a actual form. I will show you here. Here I need the actual form and also the task list of the collection, because I want to append some children inside to that. I need this clear task, and also what I'm going to do, the task input, the direct input. Okay, so I need all these things here. So now what I'm going to do, so instead of keeping like this, what I'm going to do here, basically, so I should add some other, like, how do I say that, some filter option here. Okay, we can filter something from this, the card action. After the card action, I will take all this li from here. For now I'll keep only one li for the, I want to know what class we should going to use. Okay, so I'll take all these li from here. I'll just command this li. Inside collection is something different now. So now the collection is empty basically. So after here I'll create some input element. Okay, so div takes a class of input field field. So call s12. Then I'll copy this input from here, the input and the label. I'll paste here. So this input takes a text and the name called filter. The ID is filter. When I type this input, it's going to filter this collection list items. Okay, particular items, what the string is matching to this list of the string. So the label is filter item. So that's cool. So when I come back here, I can see some cool UL, like list filter search input here. Okay, so here we can add, so here we can filter. So we're going to add the output, the collection output here. Everything is fine now. So now I'm coming back. So what are the things I need in our application? First step is the whole form, and I need the actual input, and also I need the what is that, the clear btn and the filter and the task input. Okay, everything I need. The task input is this one. So I'll get everything from here. So the form, I have a id of task form. Okay, I'll just copy this here. I'll command define UI variables. So document dot query selector takes a ID list. Okay, this name should be const form equal to document query selector. After that, I'll just give task list. I need the document dot query selector collections, the UL name, then const clear btn equal to document dot query selector. It should be an clear task. Then const filter, right? We should want to get the filter. The filter is document dot query selector the filter. Okay, that's cool. Now we have a const task input equal to document dot query selector the task input, right? So this one, I think, yeah, this one. Okay, the task, because I need this input basically. So I'll give the ID here. Everything is fine now. Okay, cool. So first step, what should I want to do? I want to load some listener. Okay, every time this, if I submit this form, it's going to load some event, and if I type something, it should look for some event handler. Okay, so this is a keyboard event, it's a click event. So we have some different event here for different condition. For to the add statement, we're going to have some submission add event listener. For filter, we're going to have some key up, key down, or some event. For the clear task, also the click event. Okay, so now what I do, so I'll create some function here, load all event listener. Okay, this is very important. The project is very important. So listen carefully, because so far we learned a lot of things, but first time we're doing some project. Okay, so the function takes I'm just going to give you a name called load event listener, LISTENERS, right? So here in this function, I'm going to call the add task event. Okay, add task event. So here I'll call the form dot add event listener. The form is basically the actual form. Okay, remember that. So the add event listener, the event I'm going to call the form event. This is a form event. It's called a submit. Okay, when I submit the form, I should want to run a function of add task. Okay, everything is fine. So now I'll just create this function here, add task. Okay, so function takes a add task. This function takes a event parameter because that is an event. We should want to target something or some other like kind of things. Okay, so here I'll put some console.log. Okay, console.log, hello, I am working. So what do you guys think now? This function is going to work or not? If I click this, if I submit the form, I used to put the event handler submit. Do you think this form is hello I'm working is going to print?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. So because we have that add event listener to that form. Okay, so but this is not going to work, because if I open the inspect, I'll choose the console. When I come back here, if I click this button, you see nothing is actually I will tell you why this behavior is happening. Okay, you see that some flash is happening here. When I click this button, some flash is happening. First step is this inside the function only we have calling the event handler listener. We just created this function. Okay, but this function is not called yet. So I just called here. I just call the load event listener here itself. Okay, so now this function is going to run. So if I click this, something is happening, but because when the form for the form, we have some default behavior. That behavior is basically going to submit the form. When we click the submit button, we want to stop that. So to do that, you should want to call the event from here. The event has a method of prevent default. This is only work for the form submission method. Okay, event prevent default, prevent default. Still this problem is coming. So I think always this. Okay, I didn't add the app.js. I think, yeah, that's the problem. This is also one more problem. I'll include the app.js here. So now I'll take this out. Okay, I'll cut this out. So if I come back here, and if I try to submit this, hello, I'm working. Okay, I will show you this also. Now I'll command this function. Okay, this inside this function only we are having the click event. We should want to call the function because to run this inside body code. Okay, inside the function body code. If I click this, nothing is happening. You see, still it is working. So I should want to call this. Now it's going to work. I will show you the example later. Okay, when we add some one or more event handler here. So here you see this is now flashing. Hello, I'm working is flashing now. Okay, to stop this behavior, what should I want to do? I want to call the event. Event has a prevent default method. It should prevent that method. Okay, that's all. It should stop that method. So you see now this hello I'm working is going to stay here. So every time if you create this form, always don't forget to put this. Okay, so always when you using the submit event handler, so just try to put this one. So if not, it's going to flash out each and every time when you submit this form. Okay, it's staying here. So this is the problem what we have when we use the form submission. Okay, so the first problem is solved. Now the hello I'm working also now working good. So here the thing what we going to do. Okay, so the step case, you see first step, what are the things we need here? You see, I need a text here. When I submit, I should want to add to this collection UL here. Okay, the UL is now empty. That's what now nothing is showing here. But when I add this, I want to create some LI and also the icon, the small icon. I should want to append all these things here. Okay, so that's our case. So first step, the add task function. So I'm going to create if task input is the actual input, what we are typing here. Okay, I'm just make some command here. Task input dot value is equal to nothing means I should want to show some alert. I'm using a browser alert, the Chrome alert. Afterwards, we can create our own alert in some other project. Okay. So here I'll just give add a task. So I'll give this one. So if I come back, if I click this, it should show add a task. Okay. See, it's returning add a task. Okay. Now everything is fine. So I'll use to put a return also here. This return is stop this one. Okay, it should not go over out of this. So I'll use the return also. If you try to put some other thing here, it should not work. Okay, you see this color is now very dim, so it should not work. So I'll put here. So most people what they do return false. They'll put return false also. It should stop this after this code execution. So when I try to put like this, it should stop that one. Okay. So now you see, if I have some text and submit this form, it should not show it couldn't show the alert. If it is empty, it show the alert. Okay, remember that. So that's what we are getting the task input dot value. So I'll show you what is the task input value. So console dot log task input dot value. Okay. So now this is nothing. You see, this is returning empty. Okay, if I submit this, you see this returning empty. That's what it's showing that one. Okay. So if I put like this, it should give me back a string. Okay, now this is empty, so it's return what's that error. Now it's having some data here, so it's not returning some alert. Okay, so now this one is code. So the second step, we should want to create a LI, create a list. So the list item const LI equal to what we do, document dot create element LI. Okay, so document dot create element LI, and I want to add class. I will keep on console log this. Okay, then only you can understand what we are actually doing. So I'll put the LI here. So the console log the LI. When I add this one, it should return this. Okay, so I'll just type something here. I'll click. So you see, it's returning empty LI. Okay, this is the LI I'm going to append inside to the UL. Okay, remember that. So the value I should want to pass inside to this LI. Okay, that's what I'm getting the value. So the second step, I should want to add the class to LI. So add class. So the class what I'm going to add, this collection item. Okay, I'll just copy this one. Coming back. So how can we add the class? Anyone please explain me.
Document selector.
No, I should want to add an attribute. I should want to add the class attribute.
Class name.
So li dot class name, right? So the last name equal to collection item. Okay. So now what it's going to return? So last time it returned empty li. Now it has a class attribute with this li. Okay. So with the class value of collection item. Okay, that's good. So we should want to append some text inside to this li. Okay. The third step is we should want to append the value inside to this li. Okay, you know this task value is holding the task input value. Okay, the input value is holding here, right? The task input dot value. I want to target that out. I'll just take this now. Okay, I'll keep this. So here So how we add some text into the some element? How we
Inner
add?
text or inner HTML dot inner.
No, no. We when we want to update that, okay, we're going to create
Okay.
some text node here. Okay, I think I show you the text node also, right? Wait 1 minute. So I think when we create li, I showed you the you see the create text node. Okay, to create a text node and append. So we going to update using the inner HTML and the text content, but to append something, to create something, so we should want to use this text node. Okay, remember that. So I will take this out. So here you can use also inner HTML, that's not a problem, but I will always stick with this method. So I will show you, but most of the developer will use this method only, so that's why. So here I'll create text node and append to li. So here what I'm going to do, li dot append child. Okay, the child inside the li, I should want to append the child. What is the child? Document dot create text node. The text node should be, who is the text node here? Who should what we should want to append inside to this li? The value, right? The input value. So I'll call this here. Okay, so if I save this, I'll come back to my output. Now I'll type something, I will click. You see now this has the content here inside this collection item. Okay, now this li contains some value what I am typing, and when I submit this, it's going to return the li. Okay, everything is fine. And we should want to add the small icon, the close icon. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, so I will create some link here. The third step, I should want to create a tag, create new link element. So the link element const link equal to document dot create element is the anchor tag. So console dot log a. So I'll type something. If I give this, a is not defined. Okay, sorry, the link. So if I type this, I can get the empty a here. I should want to add some class to it. So if you see, this is the class, delete item and the secondary content to the a. Okay, so I'll call the link again. The next step is add class. So link dot class name equal to the delete item on the secondary content. Cool. So if I type this, I can see this delete item and secondary content, the class in the a tag. Everything is fine. The third step, now I want to insert a HTML. Okay, not the text node, inserting HTML. So now I'm going to use the inner HTML. Okay, add icon HTML because it's coming from Font Awesome. So link dot inner HTML equal to the class I'm going to use, this one, far remove. Okay, I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. Far remove. I should want to insert in a HTML, right? So I'll put this I takes a class equal to far remove. Then I want to close this I. So fine. So now if I come back here, I'll save this and I'll type. Now I have the inside the a, I have the inner HTML of I tag. Okay. Now the third, now what is the second step? I should want to append this a inside to the li. Okay, that is the second step. So what I should want to do, so here li, like I'll give some command here, append the link to li. Okay, so li dot append child is the link. Now I'll take this link out. Okay, coming back here, I'll type something. If I click this inside the li, we have a now. Okay, So inside that A, we have a I now. So everything is fine. Last step, we want to take this Li and append into the UL. That's it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, everything is fine here. So I already have, I have the UL here, the collection. Okay. This is the UL. So I'll just give some command here. This is a UL. Okay. So here I'll just want to call the task list dot task list, right? Task list dot append child who I'm going to append the Li. Everything is fine. So if I come back here, if I type something, if I add, now I can see the Li here. Okay, this is how this thing is going to work. So you see, if I type something, I can click, it's going to add more. So every time it's going to add, each and every time it's going to add like this way. So you see how this is cool. Okay. So then last step, you see this value is not clearing out from this once we submitted. So I should want to clear that also. So I'll put a clear up here. I'll put some another command append Li to UL. So clear input value. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to target the task input dot value should be nothing. So when I come back, you see, now this is clearing out. The ID is now running. Now if I click this clearing out, if I click again, it's now clearing. Everything is fine now. Okay. So cool. So what is the second step? So everything we done, right? So the second step, I just going to remove this from here in the DOM. You understand this, right? What we did now?
Yes, sir.
So, okay. So the second step, we should want to clear this out. Okay. Yesterday I told you we're going to use the event delegation here. We're going to target where we are actually the click happened in this document. Okay. So to do that, what I'm just going to do now, I'm going to create some new event listener for that. So basically, I will show you this one. So this is the card action, right? You see, this is the card action. So what I'm going to do, I'll target the UL. Okay, inside the UL, I'll target the UL as the parent. This is the parent. Okay, inside the parent only we have a lot of Li here. So inside the collection, wherever I want to target, where I'm clicking, where the click happened. Okay, so I'll target the list task list here. So I'll just copy. I'll just going to create a new event handler here. Remove task event. Okay, remove task event. So the task list dot add event listener takes a click. This event name I'm going to, the function name I'm going to keep as a remove task. Okay, I should want to create this function now. Here I'll put remove task. Okay, so now I should want to create the task, the function remove task takes a E. Then here what I should want to do, I should want to check whether where the click happened. Okay, for example, now I'll put console.log e.target. So when I do this, if I come back here, when I add some Li here, it should add it here. Okay. So when I click here, this returns me the actual target. You see, it's returning Li, but if I click this one, it's returned the I tag. Okay. But we need the basically we need the A tag to check that. The same logic what we saw. Okay. So if e.target dot parent element, parent, the A, okay, the A class list dot contains delete item. That is the class, right? Yeah, this one, delete item. So yeah, okay, delete. If the parent of the I tag is the A, here the A is sitting. Okay, the A dot class list contains delete item. We know that we particularly click happened there. So I'll just put some confirm here. So confirm Are you sure? Okay. Then what I'm going to do? I'm going to do target the parent element of the parent element. That is basically here we have the li. Okay. Parent element of the parent element. I should want to remove from the document. So remove method. That's all. This is very simple. So if I come back, I will add something here. So we know if I click this one, it's returning or issuer. Okay, it should now delete from here. If I click this, again or issuer is running. Now it is also done. If I click this or issuer, yeah, done. Everything is fine. Okay, you see how cool is it? So now I'll refresh this. Okay, now this remove task is now done. Okay. So we have the clear task also. So the clear task, okay, the clear task, we should want to create the clear. This is very simple project. Okay. So the clear task, this one should be a clear task event. Now filter is going to be bit not a difficult, kind of some logic. Okay, clear btn, this one. Okay, the clear btn dot add event listener takes a click, and I'm going to use a clear clear task as a function name. I want to create this function. After this remove element, I'll create this. So here I'll put a command call clear task. Here I want to create a function. The function names the clear task, takes a e. Then it is very simple. Basically, what we going to do, I'll show you two way. Okay, clear. What is the name we get? The UL collection. Yeah, the UL is task list. Okay, the task list dot inner HTML equal to nothing. That's all. It's only a simple line of code. So I'll add something here. So if I click this, it's going to show or issuer. Yes, it should read it. If I click this, you see now it's completely deleted. Okay. If you want, you can put some confirm also. I'll just put some confirm here. So if I add something, if I click this, it show or issuer. When I click OK, it should delete from here. If I give cancel, it's returns a false. Okay, if you see, if I click cancel, now it's not going to work. Okay, the function, this method is now stopping from here. Okay, this is one way of doing. There is another way, so we can check if there is a first element there. Okay, for example, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use a while loop here. While, okay, while task list, I will show you first. I will show something. Console.log task list dot first child. Yeah, FIRST first child. Okay. If I add something, if I come back to the inspect, I will show the console. Clear this out. If I click this, it's return the first child, the node. Okay, the text node. It's returning the text node because basically it's now yeah, it's returning the text node. Okay, we should want to listen, or is there any first child? Okay, if there is any first child, what I'm going to do using this logic, while the while loop is going to keep on running. Okay, while if there is a task list of first child, if there is first child, okay, what I'm going to do, task list dot remove, I'm going to pass the task list first child. So there is a both way we can do. So now when I click this one, it's return or issuer. If I click this, what's happened? Refresh this. Task list dot remove. Okay, task list or remove child. Yeah, we should want to particularly target the child. Which child you should want to delete? Okay, the first child is going to return as a text node. So it's going to check is there any first child. It's become true. If it is there, it's return true. It's going to run. Once there is nothing, so it's return false. So this while loop is going to stop. Okay. So now if I click, oh, I'll come back and I'll open the inspect. So in the inspect, I'll keep on add some other thing here. So if I click this, it's showing, are you sure? If I click, it's now clear from here. Okay. So basically what happening here, the loop is going to check every time that is there a task list of first child. If there is a task list of first child, every time it's checking. Okay. It's basically, it's normally deleting one by one. Okay. But it's very fast. So that's what it returned like this. So I will just put some console.log here. Console.log task list, task list dot first child. I'll keep move this top. Now you will understand what's actually happening. I will add this some dummy text here. If I click this, I will clear this out. If I click this, you see each and every LI is returning, even though the empty command is returning. Inside we have this text node, empty text node. You see, it is also returning here. So it's going to check each and every time, is there any first child, first child? If it is find the first child, it should going to delete this. It again, it's going to listen for the first child. It is going to delete this. It's going to keep on loop that thing. If it is find the first child, the loop is going to run. If it is not finding any child there in a while loop, it's going to stop the loop. So how this is how the things are working. Understand?
Yes.
Hello.
So while list is just for
Yes,
checking,
sir.
right? We don't need in this project.
Your voice is too low, bro.
Hello.
Yeah, now okay.
Is it while list is important for
No,
this project? It is just for checking, right?
yeah, it's just for checking. Okay, we are just
Yeah, yeah.
using the
Got it.
while loop. While the loop takes the first child, task list the first child. If it is there a first child, we should want to return the true. Okay, that's all.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
now
Got it.
returning a true. Once everything is done, now this place become false. Okay. Now
Yeah.
what is going to happen? It's going to stop this place. Okay. So this is a simple logic. So now I'll keep like this way. Okay. Now that's cool. So if we have this true here, for example, if I pass the true here, okay, if I'll pass the true like this way, TRU, I'll pass the true like this way. Okay. If I come back here, I will add something. I will run this one. The child of the no parameter one is node type. Okay, here we are using task list where the error basically coming in the 89th line. Remove child. First is dot remove child. What happened? So I'll keep it as a true. TRUE. If you pass the false here, it should not work, right? You see? Now when I pass the false here, now this is not going to delete. Okay, because it's the statement is false now. The loop is not going to run because it's not returning true. I don't know why it's true is not working here. Wait, we'll check this out. I think the true is not going to work. It's going to check the first element because that's what the problem. If I give this, yeah, now you see, now this completely done. Okay, because it's now going to check each and every child. So it's returning. So what basically here, when we check the task list as first child, it become true. Okay, now this loop is going to run again. It's going to check the task list of first child. At last, what going to happen? If this can't find the first child, it's going to become false. Okay, this is how this loop is working. Now we understand.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, super. So now I'll keep like this. Okay, so everything is okay. So we did add task and remove task from here. So when I type some other things here, so it's going to clear from out here. Okay, everything is fine. So even if we have this, okay, that's cool. Now the second step. What is the second step? We should want to do the second step, right? So just 1 minute. Some bug is happening here. 1 minute. Check this out. So if I click this, the active class is running in the label. for task label. So the label is where this one, right? This one. So I'll keep some class here. Classes label. I will target the label also because something is some weird things happen. So the label class. Okay. So when I add this, so now the active is running, but you see now this active is not clearing from here. Okay, this is how the material design they created. That when you wait, I will show you. Wait one. When you click here, the active class is coming here. Okay, so this is not a good way of thing. Once you submit, we should want to make this task come again like this way. Okay, so so to do that, I should want to remove the active class here. So I'm going to target the label of that label. So const label equal to document dot query selector the label as a class. I created the class here. Okay, the label class. What I'm going to do, so here I'll just in the add, once I add, after here I'll call the label dot class name, or okay, I'll keep like this label dot what class they are actually doing. Here when I click this one, it's returning label active. Okay, label active. When I submit, the class name equal to label. Okay, so that's it. Once the submit happen, I'm just calling the label dot class name equal to label, only the label, not the active. So if I submit, now it's working properly, even though it's every time. Now you see here, now in the bottom, you see when I submit, the active class is removing from here. Okay, when it's actually, this is how these things are. We should want to find this kind of small mistake and all. Okay, that is the good developer of habits. So always we should want to find the small bug is, or this is only a very small bug, but we should want to fix this thing. Okay, so it is very simple. Now I think now you'll understand what I'm doing, right? You understand what I did here? Did you understand?
Got confused because it is still
Yeah,
flashing.
what
So
happened, I will show you again. Wait, I will take this out. Okay, the style is coming from material design. Okay, the style is coming from material design. So when I submit, when I type submit, if I hit submit, you see this staying in the same UI state. Okay, we should want to clear this out because the active class is happened here. When the active class is happening here, this style is going to the style is going to change. So what I'm doing here, when I submit this active class is not removing here, right? So I should want to make changes here that to the class. So else we can do like this way also. We can keep the class name equal to nothing also. This is also going to work, I think. So when I submit this, yeah, you see, this is also going to work. So I'm just clearing the class after when I submit this. That's all. Okay. So it's going to come in a default state of UI. You understand?
yes, sir. Now got it.
Okay, super. So the second step is we should want to, yeah, everything is done. We done almost everything. And the
Storing of
filter.
the data.
Okay, the filter state. So the filter is not a bit like kind of difficult and all. It's kind of, we're going to use some logic here. So the logic what I'm going to use here, so I'll show you this. Where is that? The DOM fundamentals. I showed you some string methods. I think I will show you this way. So here the index of, right? So the index of, if the first name index of, if the index of find any value into the first name, it's going to return the actual index number. If not find anything in the first name, it's going to return the -1. You remember this, right? This index of method. So I will show you this again. Index of. So now you see the text takes hello world. welcome to the universe. Okay. The result is text dot index of, this is the text, this contain whole string here. They are basically checking index of welcome. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's what it returned 13. You see, the welcome is started from 13th index. Okay. But if I try to put some other not matching string to this text, it's going to return -1. If I put 2 here, it's going to return actually where the index is located. Okay, that is how the index of is actually working. Normally it's return the actual index where the string is located. Okay, that's it. You understand, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is the logic what we're going to use now. So here I'll just close. So that's what I told you, that when I take some fundamentals, these are the things we are going to use 99% in our application. So yesterday I told you some example. In JavaScript, there is 100%, but we're going to use only the 20% of the thing to make some good application. Okay. So now I'm just going to create some new function here. That is also event handler. So filter task event. Okay, the filter task event. So filter task dot add event listener. I'm going to use a key up. Okay, when I type and release my key, it should fire off the function. So filter tasks. It's a function name. I will create after this clear. Here I'll create filter task function filter task. Here I'll put this. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here, I just want to pass the event here. Now the text. Okay, simple thing. So const text equal to e dot target dot value console dot log text. So whenever I type something, I'm going to get that text of that e. Okay. So the e is basically the event handler. I'm targeting what I'm typing the value. Remember that. So if I coming back to the task list, so when I start typing here, so it should return, okay, here, not here. This is okay. If I type something here, you see, it's now updating in my console. Okay, this is what I need to check whether it is a match or not to the string what I'm having in this li. Okay, so I'll put the two lowercase. I'm just going to change this to the two lowercase. LOWERCASC, the function, the string method, two lowercase. But even though if I type some caps here, it should return me a lowercase. Okay, so that's the reason. So we don't know how the user is basically typing here, but we should want to convert that to some default case. So we're going to match that default case from here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here, first step is we should want to select all the li. So document dot query selector. I said all li. I want to use the query selector ul. It's going to return a node list. Okay. So collection. What's the class name? The li class name. Collection item. So I'll copy this collection item. I'll paste it here. Okay, the collection items, each and every li. Okay, remember that. So I'll show you the console log again here. Const x equal to document dot query selector. I'll type the x here. So when I start type something here, it should return the node list. Now the node is empty because there is no li here, right? So if I add something here, but if I type something here, it should, you see the node list is returning with the 3 li. Okay, remember, you understand this what I'm doing now?
No, sir, didn't get
What, brother?
Didn't get what actually it is happening.
No, I couldn't understand properly what you said.
Can you show this once again? What?
Yeah.
Exactly
Okay. Well, I will explain you once again. No problem. So I always explain 1, 2 or 3 times every time. That's what I'm again and again asking, that you understand or not. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me 1,000 times. That's not a problem. Okay. If you have any doubt when you uh, like when you watching this session, just interrupt me. Okay. Don't worry about that.
Thank you, sir.
So now I'll just take this out. So I'll take this. Okay. So the filter task takes add event listener, the key up. Okay. When I type something, I'll just releasing my key from the keyboard. It should fire off this filter task. Okay. That's the thing what we need. So now when the add event listener firing off, I'll just put hello, I am fired. I'm just doing some console here. Whenever I type something, this hello, I am fired is running here, right? You see the number is increment.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's the first step. So what I need, the text. Okay, what is the e.target is returning for us? So I'll put here console.log e. Sorry, the text. So when I type something here, it should return the input element. You see, it's returning the input element, right? Because that is what we are targeted. You see, we are targeting e.target. The target is what? The actual input. Okay, I will show you this in a clear way. When I type something, I'm going to get some object here, keyboard event object. What is the target? The target is what? The input, right?
Input, yeah.
Okay. I want that and now I'm using the target here. Now I'm going to get the input from here. Okay, you see, now I'll get the input. Okay, so everything is fine, but I don't need this input. I need the value of the input. Okay, what I'm typing. So dot value. Come back. When I type, I can get the strings, the value of the input, right? Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, super. Now I want to change this. Okay, if I type something with the caps, it should return with the caps. Okay, I don't need this. If whatever I'm typing, even if it is caps or normal case, I should want to change this to a lower case. Okay,
Lowercase.
I'm going to use a to lower, sorry, dot to lower case. Okay, so now everything is fine. So if I come back and type something here, I'll type everything in caps here. Okay, so in the caps I'll type, so I'll get normal value. Okay, the lower case of value. So okay, everything is cool now. Now you understand this concept, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, super. Now
But why is filter exactly used?
yeah, I will explain you that. Now what I'm going to do, I'll add some li here. Okay, we have some li. When I type d, when I type, why this I think this material is not properly working, so no problem. Even though if I click here, why this is working here? I think some problem in this material. When I click the label, it should work. So when I click here, it should working. I don't know why it's so. No problem. It's a simple framework bug. That's no problem. So when I click here, when I type DFG, it should want to show only this one. This everything should be disappear. Okay. So that's what we are using the filter, right? We are filtering the item from this UL. That's the logic. Okay.
Okay.
So now what I want to do, so to do that, what should I need? So I want to check this, what the filter text is matching to this LI, right? If I find that is the actual LI I found, so I can show here. Okay.
It is a kind of search within the page.
Yeah, kind of searching. In the WhatsApp, you will go and find the contact name, no?
Yeah, right.
So the same concept. Okay. So here I'll put now I should want to select all the LI from the document. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do document dot query selector all. It takes the class of collection item dot collection item. So it's basically a LI. So const x equal to document dot query selector all. Console dot log x now. When I type now if I now there is no li here. You see, now there is no li.
Yes.
The query selector all is going to return node list. Now you see it's returning empty, right? Because there is no
Yeah.
li here, because we target the li. But when I add some li here, I'll just add some 3 li here. I'll just clear this out. If I type something here, now it's returning as node list. You see, now inside we have the li. Okay, now we understand.
Yeah.
Okay, super. So we got the all node list of collection items. So I'll store this. I'm not going to store. I'll look through that directly. So now I have the for each for this li. Okay, you see there is a for each method to this. We can loop through using for each. So dot for each takes a function. This function takes each and every iteration of the li. Inside the li, each and everything the task is going to have. I will console log the task here. So when I add something here, I come back here, I'll clear this out. If I type something, I can get the actual li. Okay, where is the x? This is error coming from here. Again, I will now, okay. So when I type something, I can get the actual li. Okay, you see, because that's what the task is returning. Okay, each and every time when the loop runs, it's going to return all the li inside this query selector node list. Okay, so that now we understand, right? This one.
Yes, sir.
Super. So the second step, what is the next step? I'm just going to, I just need the this string only. I just need this string only. Okay, this string. So to do that, what I'm going to do, so const, it's going to store this in a variable. Task is a li dot first child. Okay, I'll put this also. Console.log item. Who is the first child? The actual string. I'll add some same thing here. If I type this, I can get the string here. Okay, inside the value, because that is the first child. If I put last child here, what I'm going to get? I'm going to get the a, right? So if I type, I'll get the a, right? I need the first child because the first child is the actual string. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, super. So I'll put first child here. So everything is perfect now. So I need this text content. Okay, text content. I need the text content. So if I type this, I'll add something here. If I type this, I can get the text content, actual text content. Okay, so everything is fine. Okay, now I store this in item. Now what I'm going to do here, the actual logic is going to happen. If, okay, if item, the item I'm getting from the li string, I'm just going to change this to a lowercase. Okay, dot index of, sorry, index of what? The text. This is the text. Okay, now you see the item, I'm changing to lowercase. This item index of this text I'm getting from the value. Okay, the input value is not equal to -1. That's what I showed you. If it is not match, it is going to return the -1. Okay, if it is -1, I want to make task dot style. Task is an li. Remember that task is an li. Task dot style display equal to block. Else task that if it is written -1, I should want to add none here. Okay, so we'll check this one time. Even I also have a little confusion. Say, okay, I will just give some proper name here. Working, think, eating, then what is that? Working, eating. Okay, this is walking. So now fine. Okay, If I type WORKING, it's not working. What's the problem here? So task dot titled item to lowercase index of text equal to not equal to -1, task dot style equal to display none. Everything is perfectly all right. Why it's not working? Console.log. Yes. Wait 1 minute. I will show you this. What is the problem here? So add this. Type TA. Yes is returning here. Okay. If I try to put some other thing, why it's not removing from here? The display none console.log. No. So if it's returning no, but why it's not clearing from the document? Task.style. Okay. Display PLAY. That's the problem. Now it's going to work properly. So if I try to put talking, walking, running, everything's fine. So if I type TAL, you see another two lists are now disappear. Okay. If I put WALK, now this one stays. Now if I put RUNN, if it's going to stay. If I type some other things, the 3 LI is going to disappear because that string is not matching to the LI string, LI actual text value. Okay, that is what the reason happened. So this is very simple. You see the item is the list of the text content I'm getting. I'm changing to lowercase because the both should be want to be lowercase. Okay, that's only then that only we can match equal string. Index of the item, index of the text I'm passing the value. Okay, if it is not equal to -1, I know that's going to match to the list. Okay, so that should match to the list. If it is match, we can get we should want to make the list to display block. If it is not matching to that, we should want to make to display none. That's the logic here. Understand?
Yes, sir.
So you should want to practice this out. Go and practice this. So today this is a good place to stop, I think, because tomorrow onwards I will show you that how to store in a database, the local storage. So when I add something here, even if I refresh this, it's going to disappear, right? But when we use the local storage, it should stay here. Even though if I refresh this, even though after you close this browser and come back, it's going to stay here. We're going to store all the string in a local storage and we're going to fetch from in a front end. Okay, it's very simple logic. So go and try it out today. Make sure to understand this. I will delete this one, so we don't need this. So go and practice this. It is very simple. Okay, almost cover each and every time with a proper way, I think. So you understand properly or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, so everything is fine. So it is very simple one. Okay, because that's what we need, because we're going to look a lot of advanced logic using the module pattern in the last what is the last project. But before that, you should want to understand the basic structure of the DOM element. Okay, this is the basic project. Using this basic project, we created some cool collections, the list collection. So you see, this is very cool project. So go and try it out today. When you come tomorrow, please understand all these things. So tomorrow we'll get into the local storage of this application. Okay, so I'll push this code into Santosh. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, super. If you have any doubt, you just pin me. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, git commit hashem or git
Yeah.
hashem.
Error. Okay, DOM did not match the file. Why this one? This get COMMIT hyphen up to sure. Okay, now everything is pushed here. So you go and pull from there in the GitHub. Okay, one second, I'll check this. Okay, got pushed here. Okay, the to I not this one. This one, yeah. So here you can get the code. Okay, go and practice this. So when you come tomorrow, you'll just make sure to practice each and everything what we learned today. So tomorrow we get into local storage. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Shall we
Okay.
close?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, brother. Take care. Bye bye. See you.
Bye.
Good night.